Hello, hope you're all well. Just wanted to try and share a few ideas that we've been doing in our house for home learning. This one is around shape, as I'm hoping you can tell from the image, and it's aimed at early years key stage 1 children. Okay, so my daughter was doing this today and she's 4, and I prepared this last night. So I'd cut out these shapes using a beer box, but you could equally use a cereal box or something like that. I wanted them to be fairly hard because we're going to use them as a templates, or we've used them as templates. Later on I'll explain that. So we started off, I showed her the shapes and we talked about them. She was able to name most of them and have a stab at the other ones, and then I reminded her about pentagon, yeah. So she had heard of them before, which is good, well done her school. It wasn't me. And we talked about the different qualities of those shapes, so different number of corners and different number of sides and things like that. And that was where we started. Then she said she wanted to do like a treasure hunt, so she asked me to hide them around the kitchen, so I did that, and then she ran around screaming and got excited because she got to find them. And then once she'd found sort of 4 or 5, we were able to go, well, how many are missing still? Which ones have we found so far? Which one must we be looking for? So just using the language of shape a lot, so number of size, counting, lots of counting. Once we wrote the names on, it doesn't really work with circle so well, but a thing like a pentagon, she knows circle already, but pentagon starts with p, e, n. So using her phonic knowledge, she's able to blend those pure sounds and know that it starts with pen, and that's enough of a trigger to remind her that the rest of it is pentagon. So that helps in word recognition, so reading, awesome. Next thing we did was understanding those shapes. We went on a bit of a shape hunt around the house and we started looking for different shapes. So I made a table, I drew this bit, it would have taken ages if not, and then she was able to, once she found the different shapes around the place, she was able to write down what she'd seen. So a bit of handwriting practice, some phonics knowledge practice. She had a go, and then we talked about the spelling. Lights is obviously a very tricky one, but she could do clock and dots, and she wanted to go double L or double UL on stools, but other than that she was pretty good. But faces and lights are a bit trickier, so I had to help her with those, although we do need to talk about her formation of the letter G clearly, but she's done pretty well, I think. Got better there, awesome. As you can see by the empty boxes, she got a bit bored of it, but heck, that's what happens, isn't it, when we're home learning? We're all learning this. There's no point fighting about it, just let them strike while the iron's hot, I suppose. Enjoy it while it's working, and then we can come back to that another time. So that list is in her book now, so we can do that whenever. We might grab that again tomorrow if we find, oh look, there's a pentagon. We might come and write in that our doll's house has a pentagon on it or something like that in the future, but it doesn't matter. It's there for us to use as and when. What we then did was using, then we got some pieces of A4 paper and painted them in different bright colours. And once they dried, used these shapes as our stencils. So she was practicing using a pencil, or a pen in this case actually, and drawing around the stencils, holding it very neat and still. So that was good. And then once the stencils were drawn, we cut them all out, and we've now got a nice collection of yellow pentagons, red circles, purple rectangles, orange triangles. This is such a test. Blue squares and green hexagons. You'll see that they're curling up a little bit, but that's all right. I can live with that. So what we'll do next, tomorrow, we could have done it today, we ran out of time and interest, but we'll do tomorrow, or at some point, whenever we feel like it, is turn these into a rainbow. And then we'll have a nice piece of art to go on our window. As a bit of an outcome. So give that a go yourself, or something similar. Let me know how you get on. Enjoy.